Hello, everyone, and happy Thursday. Yes, Thursday. Come on in, my darlings. Come on in. You know I love you. Let me see something here. Let me see something. Hold on just a sec. Hold on just a sec. All right, beloveds. Okay, we're here. Hey, hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Okay, so yes. Do me a favor. Okay. Okay. Yeah. StreamYard has something new going on. So, if you are watching this and you want to be part of the chat, go to the one where it says, I guess, desktop. StreamYard has this stream to desktop, stream to mobile phone thing. I think I can only see the comments in the chat on the desktop one from StreamYard. So, like I said, if you can hear my voice, and you're choosing between stream desktop or on your phone, I can only see comments here. I'm streaming from the desktop version. So let me just say hello to everyone. Starry Eye, my beautiful, beautiful boo. Hey boo. Sweet Ace of Silhouette. Hey, sexy RN. How are you? Let me put these comments on stage real quick. Let me put them on stage. I like them big. Okay. Let me just do tall. Okay. Hey, how you doing? I got your message. I got your message, girl. Let me just say, I am so happy that everyone is receiving their milkshake. Everyone that bought milkshake, they were mailed out. We had a federal holiday this week. So most of you all should have gotten your milkshake sprays by now. So, hey boo, how are you? So yes. Like I said, do me a favor, come on in. Come on in, everyone. You know I love y'all. Come on in. Come on in. I am not at home. I am not in California right now. I traveled. Oh, I am somewhere in the United States. I am not at home. So yeah, travel day on Tuesday. It was good. I didn't have any issues at the airport, thank God, because we know Mercury retrograde. We know Mercury retrograde is about that life. So I didn't have any issues on Tuesday. There was no one in the airport. Um, TSA was there. Everything was fine. No issues, no delays. I had a great flight. So all is well. All is well here. All right, all is well. Yes. Y'all said y'all love the packaging. Okay, then. I'm glad you all enjoyed the packaging. You can carry your milkshake with you wherever you need to go. Okay, carry your milkshake with you wherever it needs to go. It looks like perfume in a bottle. So, if someone sees it on your dresser or something like that, it's fine. They just think it's perfume or something girly and feminine. Mr. Hoodoo saw me when I was making them. He was like, "Oh, what's that?" I'm like, "Some stuff I'm making for my clients." He was like, "What is that, perfume?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Yes." He asked me what was it. I ain't tell him what it was. But because why not perfume if perfume shaped, right? He asked me what it was. He was like, "Is that perfume?" I said, "Yes." And is. So all he knows that I made y'all perfume. Shh. He don't even know either. Okay, he don't know either. But that's fine. So I say that to say, just tell people it's perfume if they see it. I sure did miss the rain today, and I'm actually quite sad about that. I'm sad that I missed the rain. I'm super sad that I missed the rain, but hopefully more is coming. Hopefully more is coming. So yes, I'm glad you all. Thank you all for the emails. I have been getting your emails, your text messages with regard to milkshake, saying you love the bottle, you love the packaging. Like I said, I just wanted to make something real nice for y'all. I wanted to make something real nice for y'all, and I can't wait to hear your milkshake success stories. So whatever you paid for a milkshake, you're gonna get your money back plus way more with milkshake. Okay, I had people telling me, they got stocks, they were getting trips, they were getting all types of stuff. So for my ladies, for my ladies, for my ladies. Okay, so let's get into this today. Um, Mercury retrograde is is retrograding. hmm Even though we have, there are a bunch of planets the planets are always doing something. Okay. The planets are always doing something. Let's see. Mercury is currently retrograde. Saturn is currently retrograde. Neptune is currently retrograde. And Uranus is currently retrograde. Jupiter is currently retrograde. So there's a lot of retrograde action happening. But right now, I want to focus on Mercury retrograde because this is a retrograde that happens 3 to 4 times a year for a few weeks at a time. But this is one that, I mean, all the retrograde planets do something, but this is one that a lot of people know, right? Mercury is retrograde. So I kind of wanted to see if there were if history repeats itself, Mercury retrograde wise, if history repeats itself astrologically, and if you remember my stream on um a astrological signature for quote unquote domestic terrorism in the form of bombings in the United States, I presented my information and my findings on that, and we did see that there was a signature that repeated, right? So I was like, well, let's see if the same can be said, even at a surface level with Mercury retrograde. Particularly Mercury retrograde, as Mercury begins its retrograde in a fire sign and retrogrades back into a water sign. And right now, Mercury is retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. Okay, and Mercury is going to retrograde back into Scorpio before Mercury stations direct in Scorpio and begins to move forward again. So I did a little bit of digging. Um, we've really just started this Mercury retrograde period. The last Mercury retrograde of 2025 really just began. It began this past Sunday. Right. So we still have a little while to see what effects unravel from this. But I did find a few things thus far that kind of relates back to especially the 2018 Mercury retrograde period, because in 2018 there was a Mercury retrograde period of Mercury starting its retrograde in Sagittarius and retrograding back into Scorpio. So it's the same energy signature as the current Mercury retrograde that we're under right now. So yeah, let's look into it. If you have not, come on in, like the video. If you're new here, welcome to all my returning boos. I love y'all. So yeah, let's get into it. And hopefully we won't be here too long, but there are some things that I want to show you all. So hey D-Dub, Empress. She said what happened in Sudan was wild. Interesting. Okay. Hey PYT Tree. Hey, how you doing? I hope you are well. Okay. So let me pull up the charts. Like I said, this is not a fun tea spilling quote unquote stream. This is a stream about information. And this is a stream that's going to show that yes, some energy patterns are repeating. So let me go ahead and bring in yeah, let me go ahead and bring in some things. The first thing I want to the first thing that I want to show you all is one second. Let me show you something that happened recently. Recently, um we're not getting into that. We're not getting into that. So, um there was, especially when we're talking about Mercury, Mercury a lot of times is ruling our travel, ruling communications, messaging, reports of delays, sometimes internet commerce, things like that. So I wanted to show something that happened earlier this week. Trigger warning, it could possibly, be upsetting, but like I said, I just wanted to share this. Um and we're kind of starting in the international realm of things, right? So, I don't know if you all know, but earlier this week, Monday, November 11th, there was a Turkish airplane that crashed. There was a Turkish airplane that crashed. Um, there was a Turkish plane that crashed. Um, and let's share this tab instead. Okay. So this was there was a Turkish military plane that crashed in Georgia with at least 20 on board. This is from November 11th, 2025. Okay. Um yeah, this is kind of, it is important because we have to catalog and see what happens in certain events. Let me make this bigger so that everyone can read along with me. So yeah. So on November 11th, a Turkish C-130 military cargo plane with at least 20 personnel on board crashed in Georgia on Tuesday. Remember, this was happening there further ahead in the world after taking off from Azerbaijan, but the number of casualties and the cause of the incident were not immediately clear. So, and absolutely, definitely, um, absolutely, I can only imagine what their families and friends are going through. Hopefully something comes from the investigation, but I'm absolutely sorry to hear about this loss of life. It was a C-130 cargo plane, Turkish military plane. It left from Azerbaijan and it was going to Turkey. Okay, so we can see this here, November 11th. This is from Reuters. We're here at Reuters. Okay. And we can see here November 11th, 2025. Okay. Um, and going back to this page here, this is from let's share this. This is, so they're saying detached wings from the Turkish C-130 seen spiraling into the ground. I will never watch a video of a crash like that. That's kind of disgusting to me. I'm not gonna watch the last moments of these people's lives. But yeah, so this is what happened. We can see this November 11th, 2025. This is from Twitter right here. The C-130E went down sometime after, and let me make this bigger so everyone can see. Went down sometime after 2:49 p.m. local time, according to data from Flight Radar 24. Okay. So I, of course, was just like, okay, so this is something that's major. This is something that's major. Let's let's see, is there anything in comparison to that as far as today? Because this occurred, Mercury is retrograde. So I did find something. I did find something. I did find something. Let's let's share this tab. Turkish military helicopter crashes onto suburban street in Istanbul, killing 4 soldiers on board. This is not the same crash, but we have the same country involved, an airplane, an aerial device that belonged to Turkey. But this happened November 26, 2018. November 26, 2018. So we have country that owned the aircraft the same, Turkey, kind of the same region of the world, same month, okay? And these people unfortunately passed away as well. So we have a signature here. Let's see what the chart says. Let's see what the chart say. I'm going to pull up the first chart um to see if there are any similarities. If there are any similarities. So let's pull that up. Um what did I put these under? I think I put these okay. Let's start with the first one. And let me bring the chart in so everyone can see. Like I said, I like to let's add this in. Share screen window here. All right. Uh-oh. Did Mercury retrograde get Q? Let's see. Let's share. Okay, let's try to share again. Because technical difficulties is part of a Mercury retrograde. But if I have to, I will screenshot these and bring these in if I have to. Let me see something. Let me see. It's not showing anything. Let me leave out and try coming back in. Gosh, StreamYard. Okay. Let me leave out and come back in. Let me try that and come back in. Hold on, hold on. All right, let me try it now. Let me try it now. Let me see. Share screen. Because if I have to screenshot this, then let me try this. Let me screenshot this. Don't laugh, D-Dub. Don't laugh, girl. Don't laugh. Let me try this and see because this is it's not even coming up. All right, let me take a screenshot of this because they're not gonna play in my face today. StreamYard, you have one job to do. All right, I'm going to screenshot this so everyone can see exactly what I'm talking about. Like it's not even presenting anything. Okay, now let me try this. Okay. So let me add this in. Okay. Let me add this in. Okay. So we can see this chart here. Since StreamYard wanna play, we can see this chart here. Okay. We can see it says up at the top left, November 26, 2018, Istanbul, Turkey, because that's where the other crash was. We could absolutely see, if you look at the 12th house, you can see Mercury right next to the sun. Okay. So about the 9 o'clock era, you can see Mercury was retrograde, the 0 6 in red. The red numbers indicate a planet or celestial body being retrograde. So I want to show you all something else. So I want you to take note. See the degree. Mercury is retrograde at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. Okay. Mercury is retrograde at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. What the crash that happened a couple days ago. Let's see. Let's see what that one is. Let's see the one from 2025. Let's see that one. Okay. She says interesting. Yes. Yes. Absolutely interesting. Um, so let me because it's not letting me bring it in. It's not letting me bring it in, but let me this is just so weird. Why is this? This is so weird. I mean, but Mercury retrograde is always going to do something. So, yeah, it won't even let me share just like internet screens. So, let me go ahead and screenshot this chart again. This is going to be the new chart from this week, okay? Let me go and bring it in. Mhm. Now, let me mhm. Nope. Just wait, you'll see. You'll see. Mhm. You got the lie. Okay. So you're going to see here. All right. Well. What do we have here? The November 2025 Turkish plane crash that occurred on November 11th. We just saw in the article that it said the plane crash occurred around 2:49 p.m. Look at that. Look at the top. Okay, about the 12 o'clock area. Look at the top. You can see Mercury is also at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. 6 degrees of Sagittarius. Do we not see the energy signature here? Do we not see the energy signature here? Sometimes things absolutely do line up energetically. Okay, energetically. I want you all to take note as well of the bottom of this chart. Look where it says number 3. Okay, Uranus, and this is for the crash that happened this week. Uranus is retrograde 29 degrees of Taurus, almost in direct opposition, because once Mercury retrogrades more, Mercury is going to retrograde. Retrograde means going backwards. So this Mercury up here at 6 degrees is going to go from 6 degrees to 5 to 4 to 3 to 2 to 1 until it moves backwards into Scorpio. This baby. This is a very loose opposition. You can see this the red lines going down the middle. That is opposition. So this is not good. Uranus is the planet of things that are sudden events. Sometimes events that are sudden are dangerous, stuff that comes out of nowhere, um, earth-shattering, ground-shaking events, right? So we can see that here. Okay, we can see that here. Let me pull up the other one. Let me pull up the one that we just looked at. Okay. Let me pull up the one from 2018. Okay. Let me pull up the one from 2018 just so we can see. And like I said, let's let's go. Look at Uranus. Look at the bottom of the chart. Look at the bottom of the chart where there's number 4. Uranus is at what? 29 degrees. So we even have Uranus coming in here to make its appearance across this timeline. The same country, Turkey, aerial accidents. One was a helicopter, one was a plane crashing. Everyone, for the most part, died in the plane crash. With Mercury at the same retrograde degree of 6 degrees when these events happen, in the same sign of Sagittarius, with Uranus making itself known. Uranus is retrograde at 29 degrees across both charts. Please, what I'm saying? Like the video. Like the video. Because like I said, I had to do a little bit of research. I had to see. So this is absolutely a direct correlation. Remember, I told you a lot of these things, these are planetary cycles. Planets will return to different signs, different degree points. But I told you all on our Mercury retrograde stream, when was that? Last week, that this Mercury retrograde of November 2025 is reaching back to the Mercury retrograde of November 2018, because these are both Mercury retrogrades, with Mercury starting its retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, moving backwards into the sign of Scorpio. Okay. Now, let's see what else did I find. All right, so let me remove this. So those were those events. Those were absolutely those events. What else did I find? Something that I found that I think was really, really interesting was, let's go here. If you have or have not been paying attention to what's going on here in the United States, especially politically, and no, I'm not talking about Epstein stuff right now. I'm just talking about something else. You know that there was let me go back here. What is her name? She was getting she won in Arizona, and she was not Lord, let me find it real quick. I don't want to butcher her name. So, I don't want to butcher her name. Um let me go. Let me pull it up. I don't want to butcher her name. But she was just sworn in yesterday. She was just sworn in yesterday. And let me pull up her name. Let me pull up her name, because like I said, I don't want to get it incorrect. I don't want to say it incorrectly. I don't, because she just got sworn in. If you remember her name off the top of your head, please please put it in there. Like I said, I don't want to butcher her name. But hold on one second. Oh my god. Okay. This was her name. Her name is Adelita Grijalva. Okay, she was sworn in as the House's newest member, paving the way for an Epstein files vote. Okay, so that is her name, Adelita Grijalva. So I was just like, okay, well, let's learn more about her. Um, Adelita Grijalva. Okay, now we can go to Wikipedia. Okay, Adelita Grijalva, American politician. She's the U.S. representative for Arizona's 7th Congressional District. Okay. She is from Tucson, Arizona. Okay. Like I said, that was big news. Yes. Thank you so much for that. Thank you, ladies. So, this was some news, right? Let's see if I can finally share the screen. It won't let me share the screen. It won't let me share the screen. But and anyone can go look it up. I'm reading from Wikipedia. She was born October 30th. She is from Tucson, Arizona. She just got sworn in yesterday. Okay, she just got sworn in yesterday. So Q was just like, let's go be nosy. Was there anyone else? Anyone else November-ish? 2018? Okay, yes. Yes. Okay, in November 2018, the United States Senate election took place in Arizona. Okay. Kristen Sinema, she won the Democratic nomination. Okay. The Associate Press called the race for Sinema on November 12th, 2018. Okay, she was the first Democrat to win a U.S. Senate seat in Arizona since 1988. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This is about let's look at the energy. So, two women, November 2018, this same energetic time frame, politics. They're from the same place. Okay, that's where they both were born, the same place, Tucson, Arizona. So I was like, let's look and see if we can see some similarities in the chart. Be safe driving, girl. Be safe driving. Yes, yes, listening. So let me just pull up the charts. Let me pull up the chart. Her name was Kristen Sinema. Okay, so Kristen Sinema. And this isn't a 2018 chart, but I wanted to look at some of the similarities between these ladies. So let me take a screenshot because sometimes things do repeat themselves. All right, let me head on over to myself. Let me pull this up because StreamYard and Mercury retrograde is being a hater right now. Image file. Okay, so this is her. This is Kristen Sinema. We don't have a time of birth for her. We don't have a time of birth for her, but we do have her birthday. Now, what I find interesting is I can't even tell you that. I can't tell you that. Looking at Starry Eyed's question, she asks, did that work out that way or was it crafted that way? Like, was she chosen specifically since they follow astrology as well? Listen, it is of my opinion that the powers that be absolutely have astrologers and spiritual workers that they hire and employ because I'm just like, listen, listen. You can't tell me that they don't, the powers that be, and I mean that not just here in the United States, I mean just global powers that be. Okay. I absolutely believe that they have astrologers and spiritual workers. I absolutely believe that. So, yeah. So look at her chart. I was looking like, okay, her son, let me see this. Let me open up the other chart. Um, I'm so sad y'all can't see these charts. Okay, but we can see that Kristen has her sun in Cancer. You can see it at the top. It's the circle with the dot in it in the 10th house. Her sun is in Cancer. Her Mercury is in Cancer. Her Venus is in Cancer. I said, okay. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Sun in Cancer, Mercury in Cancer, Venus in Cancer. I was like, okay, cool. Let's see. Let's see. hmm Let's see what happens if we look at Adelita's chart. So let me just go ahead and take a screenshot of Adelita's chart because she just got sworn in. So let's do it right here. Okay, Adelita, bring her chart in and take a screenshot. Boop, boop. Mm-hmm. All right. So bringing her chart in. Let's look. Let's look because you literally can't make this shit up. Okay, we just saw. Now look at Adelita's chart. Adelita, her sun, what? Scorpio. Her Mercury is Scorpio. Her Venus is Scorpio. She has her sun, her Scorpio, her sun, her Mercury, her Venus are in Scorpio. Kristen's sun, Mercury, and Venus were in Cancer. These are two water signs. Two water signs. So energetically, they have a very similar, it's not exactly the same. Energetically, they have a very, very similar energy. Okay. Here's what I find very interesting about Adelita's chart. Adelita, you can look and see, okay, look at the top. Okay, look at the top about 12 o'clock. You can see that the upside down horseshoe, that's her south node. Her south node is in Virgo. If you look directly across the third house at the bottom, her north node is in Pisces. Where were these eclipses happening? The eclipses in September? Uh-huh. The lunar eclipse in Pisces, the solar eclipse in Virgo absolutely impacted her in her chart. Absolutely did. Now, what's very, very interesting is Adelita, she was the 218th vote needed to kind of push Epstein files information. Mercury is retrograding in Sagittarius and will be sliding in to touch her Venus. When Mercury gets to Scorpio, gonna be touching her Venus. It's gonna be touching at Neptune at 29 degrees. So her focus, that Scorpio, she has a Scorpio stellium, Sun, Mercury, Moon, Jupiter, Venus, Neptune. She has a powerful Scorpio stellium. Scorpio is things that are hidden. Scorpio is sometimes sexual things because the ruler of Scorpio is Mars. We have to see what's going to happen with her because it's absolutely connected. It's absolutely connected. Both of these women winning in 2000, and during these periods, November 2018, 2000, November 18, November of 2018, and November of 2025, these, it's all connected. It's all connected. Absolutely connected. So let me just pull up her chart and let me just add in now. Matter of fact, let's go back to yesterday because she was sworn in yesterday, November 12th. Now, notice when I was reading from Wikipedia, you can go Google it yourself. Google Kristen Cinema Her race was called November 12th, 2018. Kristen Sinema from Tucson, Arizona. Her race was called November 12th, 2018. Adelita, she was sworn in yesterday, which was November 12th. You literally can't make this shit up. You literally cannot make it up. But let me just bring up the chart of Adelita, and we're gonna move this backwards to yesterday when Adelita got sworn in, because I kind of want to look. Okay, I want to look. So we're gonna look at November 12th. Let me edit this chart for she got sworn in at 4:18 p.m. This was in Washington. No, district. This was Washington, District of Columbia. So let me update this chart. District of Columbia, United States. Okay. Calculate. So let me screenshot this and bring this in, because we're going to get this information. Mercury retrograde is a goddamn hater, but we're going to get this information. So let me make this over so we can see. Let me add this in. Boom, boom, boom. Remove. Image file. Because I was just like, I know y'all. Okay. So we can see the chart. Okay. The outer ring, the green ring, you can see it over here, November 12th, 2025, Wednesday, 4:18 p.m. That's when she was sworn in, baby. Mm-hmm. Look at Venus. Okay, if you look at the 11th house right there, look at Venus. Transit Venus sitting right on top of her sun and her Mercury. Transit Venus. Then yesterday, Mercury was at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. If you can look, you can see her sun. Her natal sun is at 6 degrees. Absolutely. Absolutely. And look. If you look down at the bottom of the chart, Neptune is currently retrograde at 29 degrees of Pisces. Oh, look. Neptune, even though it's retrograde at 29 degrees of Pisces, she has a natal Neptune. Okay, you can see the MC, then the circle with the dot is the sun, then Mercury, if you're looking up at the 11th house, then the moon, then the number 4, that's Jupiter, then we have Venus, then we have Neptune. All of them crunched together in there. You see that her Neptune is at 29 degrees. Her natal Neptune, current Neptune, yes, it's retrograde, but at 29 degrees. Baby, look at this. Look at this. If you look at the 5th house, look at the green outer ring at the 5th house. You see Uranus is what? 29 degrees? 29 degrees? 29 degrees. Uranus is, listen, that Venus sitting on top, listen, she came here to wreck shit. She absolutely came here to wreck shit. Absolutely came here to what? To wreck shit. So Mercury's retrograde this year, this final Mercury retrograde of 2025, it's still unfolding. It's still unfolding. Let me stop. It's still unfolding, and we have to see what kind of things continue that reaches back from the November 2018 Mercury retrograde energy. We have to see what reaches back more. But yeah, I found that very, very interesting. So let me also show you something else. And now we're kind of, we're kind of seeing some now, let's kind of, and listen, I just found out. So if you did not know, a lot of these things repeat. I just found out they are going to have next Tuesday in Washington, D.C., they are going to have another Epstein survivors. Um, they're going to have another Epstein survivors press conference next Tuesday. When did we have the last one? That was this past September. And guess what? Mercury was retrograding. So a lot of these things absolutely match. Now, something that I wanted to show you all. Okay, something that I want to show you all. Something I want to show you all. Because it keeps coming up. It absolutely keeps coming up. So, we just have to, it just is what it is. It just is what it is. Okay, let me see if it's going to work now. No, it's not working now. Okay, anyway, still not working. Okay, so let me just take a screenshot because I kind of want to look at this chart a little bit. And this is not a full blown uh delineation of this chart. I just want to show you how certain energies repeat and why this is going to keep coming up. So let me bring this in. Let me bring this in to show you all. Image file. Okay. So it keeps coming up, right? It keeps coming up. Okay. I don't have the exact time, but this is when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested in 2019. This is when he was arrested. He was arrested in Teterboro, New Jersey. I don't have the exact time, so I set the chart for 12 o'clock. Well. What do we have here? Let's look up at the top of the chart. What do we see at the top of the chart? If you look at the 11th house, Mercury was what? 4 degrees. And then we have Mars is at 2 degrees in Leo. Hey, Mons, how are you? And then we have it here at 2 degrees. This is when he was arrested. Now, Q asks herself, Q says, self, was there any type of Mercury retrograde occurring around this time? So Q looked at the chart. Q searched for these events. And why, yes, absolutely. Let's see it. Guess what happened the very next day? Mercury went retrograde. So let me show y'all. And this is why absolutely this year, this is why this absolutely became an entire thing. Let's bring it in. Because things are energetically connected. Okay, whether people want to it's cycles. This is history and cycles. What them planets do. Okay? What them planets do. Let me show you. Let's go to the chart. All right. Here it is. Okay. So the innermost ring, you can see, go back to the 11th house. Mercury was 4 degrees. Mars was at 2 degrees, both of them in Leo. The very next day, you can see it says outer ring, July 7th, 2019, Teterboro, New Jersey. The very next day, Mercury went retrograde in Leo with Mars right there at Leo. So, Q, why is this important? This is absolutely important because when did we get a lot of this? We got a lot of it. We got a lot of it. So earlier this year, in March, Mercury was retrograde in Aries. Mercury was retrograde in Aries. The birthday book, the birthday book or the birthday letter, all of that was happening during what? The second, this was the start of the retrograde in Leo. So a lot of this information coming out is Mercury retrograding in a fire sign. Okay, connecting back to the water sign. Okay. There were things in common. So each time this is fire into water. Mercury retrograde from Sagittarius into Scorpio, from Leo into Cancer, from Aries into Pisces. Okay. This is why this keeps coming up. It's energetically connected. Okay. Energetically connected. This is information. Information. Okay. Now we all know one of the Sagittarius traits is they for the streets. Some of Sagittarius traits is for the streets. They don't know how to stop. They don't know how to stop the sexual proliferation, right? Same thing can be said about Mars. Okay, Mars we know is what? Is what the phallus. Okay, so just because the Epstein thing is about, yes, it's about other things, the powers that be, all like that, but at its core, this is about sexual assault and rape of girls, right? This is what this is. She said, not me. You said you're not for the streets. You said it's not you. You said it's not you. You said it's them other people. You said you know how to keep your pocketbook protected. Okay, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. But this is exactly what this is. This is what this is. It is connected. So let me pull up from let me pull up from let me remove this and let me look for events. Mercury retrograde from, let me see, July 1st. Let me do July 1st, 2025. Let's see. Okay, so let me calculate this as chart 2. Well, we can see how it let me just screenshot this. Let me screenshot so we can all see. Since StreamYard is being Riri and won't bring the chart in. Okay, so let me bring this in. Let me bring this in. Okay, so we can see why. We can absolutely see why. So the inner chart is when he was arrested in 2019. He was arrested in 2019. Mercury was what? In Leo, right there. Mercury retrograde, you can see the date on the right-hand side, July 18th, 2025. When did we get the birthday book stuff? Revealing more information. Mercury was retrograde in Leo. This is why this keeps coming out. It keeps coming out. It keeps coming up. Another big reason why is Trump, his ascendant, his first house is Leo. Okay. Trump's rising sign is in Leo. So this coming out, this was happening directly to him. This is why, the linkage, it is happening directly to him in his first house. Okay. That's exactly what this is. And then yesterday or today, we get what? We get a lovely what? Treasure trove of what? more emails, documents. I don't know what it is. I haven't even gone through them yet. But um but um it's all connected. It's all connected. Now I done read that allegedly. I done read that allegedly. Allegedly. I don't know anything. This is something I just read. I have no confirmation. I'm not saying it's true at all. I said allegedly. 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 Somebody was given uh somebody was showing what their mouth do to somebody else. Okay, allegedly a president to another president. I don't know. I don't know. It's I don't know. But we're also seeing more and more names being released. More and more, listen, I don't know what's gonna come of all of this. I don't know. But there is absolutely something going on as far as why this information is not coming out. And it's more than the current president of the United States, right? CN1 said, oh, hell no. Listen. I gotta go look at myself. Okay, because allegedly William is gave the current one a serving of what that mouth do, and allegedly Putin has the files. Allegedly. I don't know. I have no proof. I have nothing. Okay. This this is just what the word on the internet street says, okay? Because it's been blowing up. But going back to this astrologically, this is why it keeps coming up, because when Epstein was arrested in 2019, before he was unalive, and he was when he was unalive, whether he did it himself, whether the powers that be allegedly did it, guess what? Mercury was retrograde. Mercury moves retrograde. Let me pull that chart up. Okay, so because we got to look. We got to look. Okay. Mercury was what? Mercury was retrograde. Mercury was retrograde. 15 degrees retrograde. Okay, sitting right on top of Mercury was retrograde. Okay. Mercury was retrograde. So, it's let me see what it looks like now. Let me see what it looks like now. Mhm. Yeah, this is all connected. It's all connected. So this is not going to go away. This is not going to go away. Okay? So I don't have his death certificate. The time that I found closest to when Jeffrey Epstein was dead or found dead or pronounced dead was 6:30 a.m. in Manhattan on August 10th, 2019. The first house for this chart is Leo. Guess guess who has guess whose first house is Leo? Let me just bring it up. Let me just bring it up because like I said, all this is connected. It is absolutely connected. And things don't go away until things are resolved. Okay. So let me bring in your favorite politician. Okay. Now let me bring in this. Let me bring in this chart so we can both look at it together. Okay, select chart 2. Okay. So listen. Mhm. Listen, let me screenshot this so we can all watch together. Mhm. All right. Let me remove this. Sweet Ace of Silhouette said, not talking to the mic. Listen, I don't know. I don't know. Listen, it is perfectly fine for two consenting adults to do whatever they do. Okay. Perfectly fine. But listen, I know in shambles. It's in shambles. Okay. So let's look at this here. So we can see the current president, his natal chart is in the middle. Okay, his natal chart is the inner ring. We can see his first house. His first house is what? Leo with Pluto and Mars. Okay. And people keep asking me, why is he so protected? Look at that. Regulus. Okay. The fixed star Regulus, the royal star is conjunct exactly his ascendant. This is why they call him Teflon Don. It is literally cooked into his chart. But I mean, we'll see. But it's literally cooked into his chart. Okay, because people keep asking me, like, are the witches gonna do something? Are the people listen? I keep telling y'all, these people have their own workers, okay? Their own workers. But listen, if we look at the outer ring, okay, of the outer ring of Jeffrey Epstein's death, look at it. Venus, Sun, Ascendant, Mars sitting right on this first house, right on Trump's first house. So, mhm, it's interesting. Now, another thing that I see interesting right here is on the outer ring. You can see when Jeffrey Epstein was dead, killed, suicide, I don't know. Mercury was at 28 degrees of Cancer. We can see in Trump's chart that his natal Mercury is at 8 degrees of Cancer. So this is going back to this Leo Cancer dynamic. Okay, so whenever Mercury retrograde is going to be, this is why this was brought up, because earlier this year, okay, back in July, Mercury was retrograde Leo, sliding right back into Cancer. Okay, so this is the more information coming out. The information is coming out. Starry Eye said, of course, they're giving each other some gawk gawk 9,000. Starry Eye, go to the wall. Go to the wall, Starry Eye. Go to the wall and you stay there. Okay. And I don't want to hear no free Starry Eyed either. Starry Eye goes to the wall and stay there. Right. Right. So Starry Eyed is at the wall. But yeah, so this is why this keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. Keeps coming up. So don't laugh, girl. You at the wall. The wall is punishment. You're not supposed to be laughing. Okay. Turn around and face the corner. But this is why this keeps coming up. So, like I said, just astrologically, a lot of things repeat. A lot of things repeat. Okay. A lot of things repeat. Hey, Miss Anonymous. Hey, girl. I wasn't on here yesterday, but happy Founders Day. I know your Founders Day was yesterday, girl. D9 love. Okay. Happy Founders Day. But yeah, so I want you all to look at something else. Look up here at the top of the chart. At the top of the chart, we can see Uranus, 6 degrees of Taurus. Well, Uranus is in Taurus now. Trump's midheaven is what? Taurus. You can see Trump's midheaven. You see where it says 10th house? It says MC 24 degrees. Uranus is retrograde. Okay, that Uranus retrograde. Let me just click to confirm. Yes. Currently, Uranus is retrograde 29 degrees. 29 degrees of Taurus. This sits in Trump's 10th house. This is why this is being so powerful right now, because it's literally affecting him. Now, does that mean he's gonna get taken down or go to jail or whatever? I don't know. Word on the street is something else completely different. And that'll be for another stream. But all of this is absolutely connected. D-Dub, don't be sending Starry Eyed no snack. She's in punishment at the wall. Sleepy B says, starry eye, take some tacos with you to the wall. Seta 4001, hello, 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 says we are in a time of revelation where much will be revealed. Listen, I'm here for the information to come out. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff. Hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. So, you know, and Mercury retrograde, I think Starry Eyes said it earlier that, some stuff that her family, some information that her family was looking for actually came out right now during this retrograde. Absolutely. Retrogrades is for to is it's a time for a do-over. It's a time to review. And with Mercury, Mercury is about information, reviewing information. Okay, reviewing information. Absolutely, because thinking, writing, communication, all that stuff, that is under the realm of Mercury. I mean, listen, we don't know. We don't know. Right now, I'm just looking at connecting the energy from 2018 to now, right? It is absolutely possible. Absolutely possible. But make no mistake about it. When we got the birthday book in July, that was because Mercury was retrograde. When we got the birthday book in July, it was because Mercury was retrograde. And these are Mercury retrogrades of retrograding from a fire sign into a water sign. So, um, you know, so absolutely, absolutely things are well, we'll see what we'll get. We'll see what we're gonna get. I'm gonna drop the link. No, I'm not gonna drop the link because I don't know if StreamYard is gonna act right or not. But this was just a really, really quick review on things so far as it pertains to Mercury retrograde energies from 2018 to this current Mercury retrograde, the one right now of November 2025. I think before we looked and we saw that back in 2018 there was what, a government shutdown, and it was the longest one ever. Government shutdown 2025, longest shutdown ever. Okay. Okay. So, it's all connected. It's all connected. I am going to be very, very interested to see what um very, very interested to see what else comes up, big news stories during this Mercury retrograde. I'm going to be paying attention. I'm going to be paying attention. And I hope that you all are going to be paying attention too. I hope that you all are going to be paying attention to things that are going on too. Because history, we we receive clues all the time. There are clues all the time as to things that could possibly be. A lot of it is history. A lot of it is history. What they say, there's nothing new under the sun. Listen, a lot of it is history. A lot of it is history. I mean, it's absolutely possible. Sorry, I says I'm even talking about things set to be released. Like there are MLK files to be released in 2027. Are things like that connected? It could be. It is absolutely possible. Absolutely possible. But I don't know. I would need dates to pull up to make comparisons. I need dates to make comparisons. Okay. I need dates to make comparisons. With no dates, I can't pull up charts and I can't make comparisons. So we will absolutely see. We will absolutely see. I do know that will not know, but again, things are going to be very, very interesting because again, looking at the charts, looking at stuff, we're going to see how interesting 2026 is going to be. Remember we talked about Uranus and Gemini, the United States having its Uranus return in Gemini. That is going to occur next year, July 4th, 2026. So as astrologers, we are looking at a few dates. We don't know. It's kind of pulling civil war energy. It's giving civil war energy. I'm not saying that there will be a civil war, but the energy, the connectedness of these astrological transits is there. It's absolutely there. So, um, absolutely future dates. Absolutely future dates. So, I mean, if there's a proposed date for release, send it to me starry eyed so I can look and see if there's a proposed date, and then we can kind of see. But listen, it's a lot going on out here. It's a lot going on out here. Um, you know, a lot going on out here. So, like I said, it's very very interesting. Empress Kid said all things are connected, paying attention. Yeah, absolutely. The MLK date says January 31st, 2027. Okay, send me whatever you're looking at, starry eyed. If there's an article or something like that, send that to me. Send that to me. Email it to me, girl. Email it to me so I can look at it because, yeah, we gotta see. We gotta see because there's a lot of cover up as it pertains to so much stuff in American history. JFK files. What happened to that man? There's a lot of stuff that's that's not being revealed. I'll say it like that. So, with that being said, yeah, definitely starry eyed. She says, okay, I'll look into it and yeah, to make sure it's legit info. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think I heard something about it. Very, very interesting, but you know, things absolutely repeat. Things absolutely repeat. At least astrologically, things repeat. So, this stream was just some food for thought for you all. So, just go back and just look. Um, just some food for thought. And listen, Q, I am not here to protect any type of degenerate. If you are someone out here that is harming children, graping children, graping women, even if it's a man being graped, if you are out here graping people, you deserve to be put on the first rocket ship to Mars. Put them in jail, put them on the first rocket ship to Mars, create a new prison colony, whatever it is you got to do. I do not stand for degeneracy. I do not stand for crimes against humans. I don't stand for any of it. Y'all know my stance, and I've been saying the same thing since I've been here on YouTube with y'all. Y'all know I don't play that. And I don't cover and protect for any of them. I don't care if it's a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, a Green Party. I don't care if it was the president of Harvard. I don't care who it is. If you are out here being a degenerate, you deserve to go down. Period, point blank. Okay, period, point blank. I don't care who you are. Okay, I think I heard that allegedly Deepak Chopra was in this recent release. Listen, I've been knew that it is Q's spiritual opinion that Deepak Chopra been a fraud for a long time. Okay, get y'all some discernment. I'm just like, aren't we done with these people that Oprah and brought out? Aren't we done with that? Like, aren't we done? Yeah, allegedly, Deepak Chopra is in this recent release. Oh, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna start going through stuff myself because I'm nosy. Okay, because Q is nosy. But yeah, like I said, get y'all some discernment because I've been knew from a long time ago to Deepak Chopra. Okay. Energetically, to me, it is Q's spiritual opinion that Deepak Chopra is a scam and a fraud. Okay. So yeah, listen, I'm here for all of them, every last one of them. If you are a degenerate, turn in the degenerates in your family, turn them in, call the police, turn them in too. Okay. Don't be protecting these people. Don't invite them to Thanksgiving. Okay. She said, I want to know what we can find in this room. Girl, you gotta go be nosy. Hey girl, how you doing? She said, was listening to clouds, just got off work. So with that being said, y'all, this was a stream just to give you all something to think about, something to absolutely think about as it pertains to um what's going on. So I want to say thank you all for being here. Like I said, this is a quick stream. This wasn't a long stream. Thank you all for being here. But just know that a lot of this is connected. And if you see some interesting news stories on the United States stage or the world stage between now and like December 7th, email them to me. Email them to me so that I can start doing some comparisons as well. Okay? So that I can start doing some comparisons as well because a lot of this is connected. It's all connected. Okay? Okay. I love you all. You all take care. Like, describe, all that good stuff. I will see you all in these internet streets. Um, enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Again, something for you all to think about. So, if you haven't, go back and watch my previous Mercury retrograde stream. Can Ahmad please put that stream in the chat? The Mercury retrograde stream from last week, where we talked about some of this. Go ahead and put the Mercury retrograde stream in the chat. For people who may not have seen it, one of the mods put it in there. One of the mods, please put my email address in the chat in case someone wants to email me a news story. I know somebody did email me about Kim Kardashian. Thank you for that. But Kim Kardashian, she know who to blame. She just out here saying some of anything. Okay. So yeah. So with that being said, listen. I saw somebody on the internet earlier say all that money she put into selling skims, she should have actually went to law school. And I said, bloop. I gathered myself, I clutched my pearls. I said, bloop. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. Chat GPT is not where you learn the law. Go to law school. You can afford law school, baby. Don't be out here talking about the psychic told you that. Baby, don't be out here lying on these people like that. Don't be out here lying on these people like that, girl. Okay? So thank you so much, Starry Eyed. Thank you so much, Starry Eyed. So, like I said, I'm gonna get out of here. I love y'all. Just something for y'all to think about. Email me some stories between now and um like December 6th, December 7th, as it pertains to this Mercury retrograde. So I can look at things and compare. There's gonna be more astro talks, more news. I am and definitely more esoterica obscura. I have not forgotten about the esoterica obscura streams. It was a lot making milkshake, and then I was traveling, and then, as you all know, my aunt died. So dealing with all that esoterica obscura streams, absolutely, we're gonna have more coming up. So like I said, just bear with me. I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Bye bye.